Good morning. How you guys doing? Welcome into another episode of Winning Bets, the Wednesday edition, Hump Day edition. We call it Wednesday here on this show. That's right, baby. Looking forward to today. Boy, you got another day of Champions League going on today, and then obviously the last day of the MLB regular season. So we'll of course make sure we want to go ahead and talk about that. But before we do any of that stuff, we always got to make sure we go ahead and recap the previous day. So good morning, everybody. Let's do that recap right there. As you can see, holy hell, just an absolutely fantastic day at plus 4.99 units. Love to see that right there. Now plus 7.16 units up on the week. And as you guys can see right there, as we talked about yesterday using that DraftKings 100% profit boost, we put $20 in our pocket. Free money, baby. Ain't turning down free money on this show. Love putting money up in our pocket. Well, how did we do that yesterday, though, in terms of bets that we placed? How about that nice four-legged tennis parlay? You guys remember we talked about that on yesterday's show. 3 of the legs had hit, and all we needed was Medvedev to go ahead and come through for us. Medvedev did exactly like that as expected. So started off with a nice cash right there. Rolled that into the Champions League action. We did Bayern first half, team total over 1.5 goals, cashed in the 13th minute of the match, no sweat. They got 3 goals overall in the first half, 5 goals overall, just a complete domination as everybody expected. I'm sure everybody made money on that game, whether you did Bayern win to 0, Bayern team total, as long as you were on Bayern, which I'm sure everybody on the planet was on Bayern in some fashion. Yeah, you were able to put some money in your pocket. What about that Liverpool win to 0? We talked about how they weren't going to let Rangers do anything. Rangers did not do much of anything in that game. Liverpool got a goal through the penalty spot, and they got a goal through a beautiful free kick there by TAA. Just beautiful. Why is that guy not starting for England? I mean, I know Reece James is starting over TAA, but I don't know if I'm starting Reece James over TAA. Boy, that boy is absolutely good. And that free kick was just an absolute stunner right there. We were tripped up on the day. Though our lone loss did come in the Champions League where we did a parlay. Ajax and Napoli, both teams to score. That came through in the first half and relatively early in the first half. But Barcelona, the double chance. Barcelona could not get the double chance. Boy, watch that game. That was the one that was on TV. They were outplayed by Inter Milan. You got to give Inter credit. They were all over them in the first half. So much that they were all over them in the first half. We watched that while we were hanging out on TikTok Live. We put in a live bet of Inter be the first team to score at plus 170. I mean, it was, generally speaking, one-way traffic, it looked like in that first half. They were threatening Barcelona's goal, and we put in a nice, good plus 170 cash. You do not see that on the recap here. I just think it's not fair to count live bets, right? I give you guys bets on these shows, or if we tweet bets, you have multiple hours to get in a bet. If it's a live bet, I just don't think that's fair. And I'm not going to punish somebody for not coming on live and hanging out with us. So that's why you don't see that on the recap. But yeah, we did cash Inter to score first. Now in terms of Barcelona though, on that double chance, they had a goal taken away by VAR, and they had a penalty claim in injury time that was not awarded to them. I was upset by it. It was nice to see that Xavi was also upset in his post-game press conference. He was hot. He was absolutely hot. Now Barcelona is struggling a little bit and on their way down to Europa League if things were to, finish as they stand now. But yeah, we were robbed a little bit right there. I mean, you get one of those two, right? We don't need both of those to go our way, right? Because we're just on a double chance. Just get one of those two to go our way if we can get that outcome to be a double chance and we can get a cash. But wasn't meant to be. VAR was not on our side yesterday in that match, but it's okay. We rolled it into baseball. We only had one baseball play last night. If you're only going to have one play, you better damn win that sucker, and that's exactly what we did. Twins and White Sox, F5 over 3.5 runs. Easy. I saw 8-1 at one point in the third inning. White Sox did the damage. It was all on them. I mean, Twins did chip in with a run, but large in part, we got that cash there by the White Sox and what they were able to do up against Winder there. And then, guys, also, I say we only had one baseball bet. You can see we also got 2 more baseball cashes. Those were not single game or single night plays. Those were over a few nights. Reds were the series winner. How about that? Already won the first 2 games in that series, so that was a nice, good minus 115 cash. And then the parlay there with Brewers and Padres plus 111. Brewers and Padres both win the first 2 games. So we go into this, the third game in these series, we don't even have to sweat, right? We've already won the series 2-0, or maybe it'll be 3-0, 2-1, whatever it is. But we already got the cashes right there. Love to see that, boys. Love to see that right there when it pays off for it again. So good. Just an outstanding day at plus 4.99 units. Guys, hit that like button and let me know you were part of yesterday's cash. Let me know if you tailed anything. If all you tailed was that Bayern first half team total because they were going up against some slappy in Champions League. let me know by hitting that like button. All right. God damn, it feels good cashing with you guys. Feels absolutely good cashing with you guys. DraftKings did it again today, fellas. Another 100% profit boost. I've already arbitraged it for $23. I did the over-under in the Reds Cubs game. I did the under on DraftKings and the over on FanDuel. So if you want to do that same thing, it's a 100% profit boost, $50 max bet. You can go ahead and put $23 in your pocket, and we'll, of course, reflect that on tomorrow's show, right? Our $20 of arbitrage money will now be $43. We're getting a lot of money before we even get to college football on Saturday, where DraftKings just throws profit boosts at you come weekend for college football. So sitting damn nice, already at $43 to the good. We love our NFL free rolls, our weekend Premier League free rolls. All right, guys, that's how I decided to use that DraftKings profit boost today. If you decide to use yours on a real wager, good luck. Hopefully you can get a good cash right there. Let's go ahead and start with Champions League, though, and then we'll come back and circle through baseball. We do have a baseball bet today, and then I've got another bet that I'm keeping my eye on. All right, let's go ahead, though, and as I said, let's start with the Champions League bets. Let's go ahead and throw them up. The first one I gave you guys yesterday is that Manchester City first half team total. We talked about it, so we're not going to talk about it. The only thing worth noting is it's now a 2-unit play. I tweeted that out yesterday that I went ahead and put another unit on it. I mean, if you want to, like, do like Holland to get the brace, I mean, I wouldn't even be mad at you. Although I think it'll be Holland and Alvarez leading the line. I think they'll go with what they've kind of done in Champions League, is they like to throw Alvarez kind of in the mix too. Great. More attacking power for Manchester City at home against Copenhagen. This should just be an absolute, just like yesterday with the Bayern game, right? If we don't get a cash in the first 20 minutes, yeah, I'll be shocked. So I had to go back in for another unit. Just love that one right there. Then I did a 3-legged parlay. Not big on money line parlays, but you know, I didn't just want to get screwed by a team total. Sometimes we see these teams, they win 1-0, right? The longer the match goes 1-0, they're no longer attacking. They want to protect the 1-0 lead, just get the 3 points. So in lieu of some team totals that normally I mainly do, I like Leipzig at home against Celtic. Think they can get the job done. Timo Werner scoring goals again now that he's back in Germany. Boy, when he was in England, he wanted to miss every damn chance he'd get. But now he's back in Germany, and he's scoring goals. So we love Leipzig today going up against Celtic. Real Madrid at home against Shakhtar. Look, European champions. We know they're always undervalued. They're always underestimated, but they're one of the top teams in all of Europe. Love them at home against Shakhtar. And then Juventus against Maccabi. Look, nice 3-0 win over this weekend up against Bologna. Hitting a little form. They're at home. They should take care of business. Absolutely take care of business, right? If you want to progress into the knockout stages, you get Maccabi at home. That's got to be 3 points. So I'm going to go ahead and roll with that 3-legged parlay over at PointsBet of Leipzig, Real Madrid, and Juventus to all get the win and get the job done. I'm also going to roll in that Benfica PSG match. Both teams will score on over 2.5 at -130 over in Bet Rivers. Look, guys, Benfica's done really good, top of the table. Both of these two teams have 6 points, so we're expecting a really good clash. And if you think that Benfica can't score, this is at home, so we obviously like that. The favor their chances of getting a goal at home. But PSG away in Champions League has allowed their opponent to score in the last 10. The last 10 away fixtures for PSG in Champions League, that home team has been able to get a goal. Okay, well, it happened last match week against Maccabi. Benfica is better than Maccabi by far. They play in a better league, better competition, just better team. I mean, hell, their guys are getting plucked by Liverpool, right? I don't see anybody from Maccabi getting sold to Liverpool, but Benfica is selling players to Liverpool. They've got a good squad. They should be able to get a goal at home. PSG certainly can contribute to this, or they need to. We got both teams to score thrown in there. And then somebody's going to find a winner, if not 3, 4, 5 goals. So love that going. Of the day, like when I look at all the matches, that's the one I'm probably the most confident in that there will be goals, just because PSG is conceding on the road, Benfica at home. Love that bet right there. Also within that same bet, I like Benfica +9 on possession. Look, this bet's already cashed in PSG's 2 Champions League games this season. That's right, it cashed. Maccabi was able to cover a +9. Why does PSG not cover a -9 possession against Maccabi? PSG loves hitting you on the break. If they can get Neymar and Mbappe running at you, it's game over for a defense. You don't want to see Neymar and Mbappe running at you. So they'll give away possession because they want to turn you over at times and then have those two speedsters just running at the heart of your defense and coming at your goal. So this sets up really nice here for Benfica to have a good amount of possession. We need 46% of the possession at least is what we need Benfica to have is 46%. Again, this is already cashed in both of their games so far in the Champions League this campaign in terms of the opponent, covering the +9. I like everything about this. Benfica is going to be in this match. They're not going to be scared of PSG. They're going to give it more than a go at home. They're gonna it's a top of the table clash in this group to see maybe who can have the leg up, because you want to be in pot 1, right? You just don't want to advance out of Champions League. You want to be in pot 1, so in the knockout stages you're going up against a team in pot 2. That makes a big difference. So expecting a nice match here by Benfica with kind of how PSG plays already. Yeah, love Benfica +9. And then the last one, Salzburg there versus Dynamo. Just both teams to score at -120. This even hit against AC Milan in their last campaign. Dynamo will find the back of the net. We know how Salzburg is. Hell, we've put in bets on Salzburg over 2.5. Both teams to score, something very similar to that we've done in the past. Salzburg at home, they attack, they concede. It's just what they do. So, like both teams to score in that fixture. So that's how we'll roll right there. 5 bets and 1 2-unit bet. Well, we can't end Champions League talk without getting in a free roll, right, boys? Let's get in a Champions League free roll while we're at it. Where is it here on the notes? There it is. I did an anytime goal-scoring free roll. We went ahead and plucked out Vlahovic there for Juventus. He's the guy. He's the guy that leads the line, so we'd love to find him the back of the net. We also did Vinicius Jr. there for Real Madrid. You could do Benzema, right? He's the penalty kicker. The odds are close, but I went with the guy that's got a little bit better of the plus money odds as opposed to Benzema is at minus odds. And then Haaland to get a brace. I mean, the dude just scores goals. You got to throw in Haaland. You can't throw him in to score 1 goal. It's like -300 or something. So, oh no, I got to throw in Haaland to get a brace. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with Haaland to get a brace. So that one's a free roll. Again, if that one misses, you won't see that one on a recap, but that one looks pretty stinking good for a free roll, for an anytime goal scoring free roll. And I absolutely like that one. So, all right, let's jump in the comment section, see what you guys are talking about this morning, and then we'll flip the conversation over to baseball. Let's keep the good times rolling, baby. I hear you there. Yes, sir, Anthony. That's what we're going to do. Oh, if Thad parlayed all the series, so he parlayed the Reds, he parlayed the Brewers, and he parlayed the Padres. Bam! Nice cash there for you, Thad. Nice. You had Byron over 3.5. You're doing the same with Man City. This is one where I actually looked at laddering Man City at home against Copenhagen. The biggest you could get was over 5.5, but it was only like +4. I think it was like +460. 6 goals, +460. I'm with you, Thad, though. Man City should absolutely run it up. A nice hit yesterday with the Byron over 3.5. I'm sure you probably got that at a touch plus money. Probably not big plus money, but I bet you got that probably around +110, +115, something along there. So, Man City team total over 3.5, -135, too juicy. You know the concern is just if they back off in the second half. That's why yesterday we did the first half. Today I'm doing the first half. There's no backing off, but generally speaking in Champions League, it's kind of different than the league, right? Guys want to show up in Champions League. Guys want to just score goals. So, is it too juicy? It's priced at -135 because it should happen, Thad. So it can't be mad at you if you decide to, pull the trigger on that. Does Real or Juve keep a clean sheet? I would think Juve's got the better chance, but I also think Real can do it against Shakhtar. I think both of them have more than a sucker's punch, to get a clean sheet, I would think. So I like that. All right, guys, you guys are cooking up some good bets there. Man City on the team total. You can't go wrong right there. I would just do, if you're trying to do Man City on the team total, Thad, and it's at -135, I would just say maybe wait till lineups come out. And if you get Haaland, just ditch the team total and just do Haaland to get a brace at, +125, and just roll with Haaland to get a brace. I mean, if they're getting 4 goals, you're telling me Haaland can't get two of the 4 goals if he's in the starting lineup, and he's the guy that takes the penalty kicks. If they get 4 goals, you'd like to think Haaland gets 2 of those 4 at least. So that's my recommendation. Maybe wait till you see lineups. If you get Haaland, you go ahead and do the brace at +125. And that might not even be the best price, right? I'd use the free bet over on FanDuel, so you may find +125 better on another book. Let's talk about a couple of these games, fellas. Boy, did you guys like that Champions League yesterday? Let's talk about some of these games yesterday. Bayern crushed, Marseille Sporting, didn't watch that one. Obviously, it looks like Sporting was hurt there by a red card. Ajax Napoli, if you look at the box score, you're going to say, oh, Napoli took advantage of a red card. No. Napoli was up well before Ajax got that red card. I was talking with somebody yesterday. Napoli, to me, is a sleeper to get in the Champions League final. Hitting form in Serie A, obviously leading the way. Doing really good in Champions League, knocking off Liverpool, now knocking off Ajax. Yeah, Liverpool or Napoli, you better watch out. Club Brugge versus Atletico Madrid. And we talked about that. Under 2.5, the Atletico Madrid game cash. There's a big shocker. And even like Club Brugge, and they were able to get out the result 2-0. Frankfurt-Tottenham, that was a big letdown of the day yesterday. 0-0. Tottenham's just, it's not going good right now for Tottenham. You know, getting whooped up by Arsenal over the weekend. Can't do jack all against Frankfurt. I know it's Germany, and Germany's a tough place to play, but you got to get a goal. So they're a team, I think, right now. If I actually look at the standings, they're level on points with Frankfurt. I thought maybe they were in the third spot and headed to Europa League. Either way, Porto got the job done over Leverkusen. Leverkusen's now sacked their manager, and they've now turned to Xabi Alonso. Yeah, Leverkusen's struggling in the league, struggling in the Champions League. I think Thad, again, he was on Porto yesterday on that double chance, so nice call right there. Enter Barcelona. Yeah, we talked about that on the recap. Unfortunate stuff right there that one of those two VAR decisions didn't go our way. But that being said, if you hung out on TikTok Live, we got a nice plus 170 cash. Enter was all over Barcelona, all over them. And then Liverpool Rangers, yeah, shocker. Rangers didn't do anything at Anfield. Only got 2 shots on target. I said that on yesterday's show. They were going to get 2, max 3 shots on target. Would they be able to find the back of the net? Nah, I didn't think so. And we got a good cash. Today's games, Leipzig over Celtic. Yeah, easy one right there. Salzburg against Dynamo. Benfica, PSG. Chelsea, AC Milan. This one's a tough one right here. Do we lean under 2.5 because it's Chelsea and it's AC Milan? Likely. Chelsea squeaked out a win this past weekend. I'm telling you, they barely got Crystal Palace. I thought that one was going to finish 1-1. Chelsea got a late goal and was able to walk away with a 2-1 win in Graham Potter's Premier League debut, at least in terms of being a Chelsea manager, obviously. So, I don't know. I didn't have a good pulse on Chelsea, AC Milan. I could see a 2-1 finish. I could see both teams to score no, right? Kind of the same thinking that Thad was thinking yesterday there with the Atletico Madrid Brugge. I kind of like this thinking. I was on under 2.5 from a lean. He was on both teams to score no. You could see that same thing in Chelsea, right? Somebody gets a goal and then they just protect it like hell. That's a tough one. Tough one for me. Obviously, I didn't quite have a good read on that one, so passed on it. Juventus at home, City at home. If you want to ladder their team totals, do whatever the hell you want with City. It's Copenhagen. If you lose your money, you just kind of rub your shoulders and go, okay, I guess so. Real Madrid at home against Shakhtar. Just expect them to get the job done. It could be 1-0. That's what scares me in terms of taking their team total. And then Sevilla against Dortmund. I tell you guys, you would think this is really a contrast of styles, right? Sevilla, the under 2.5 Kings. We hit that this past weekend against Atletico Madrid. But then you go up against Dortmund, and remember, we also hit that Bundesliga parlay where we did both teams to score up against Cologne. Hell, Cologne ended up winning that game 3-2. So Dortmund concedes too much for my liking. Sevilla, though, doesn't have enough attack going forward. But at home, can they probably nick a goal? Probably. So maybe a both teams to score is a good parlay piece in Sevilla Dortmund. But another one where it's just too much contradicting styles put me off on that game between Sevilla Dortmund. So, but those are the Champions League games again today. Probably will be watching them on TikTok Live again, at least the first half of those games. So maybe you come hang out on TikTok Live and maybe we put out another live bet and get another 170 banger. So that would be nice if we can do something like that. Yeah, Chelsea hadn't had a clean sheet this whole year, but it's Champions League. You know, if they get up 1-0, you could see it. Or if AC Milan gets up 1-0, you could say that was a tough one. Yeah, you can't necessarily go wrong. Chelsea did have that's against Everton, though. That doesn't count. Napoli is cooking. I'm telling you guys, if you got like a free bet of like, let's say $25, just do Napoli to win Champions League and just sit back and be damn. It all comes down to knockout stages and who you get pinned up against in the draws. But if Napoli gets some opponents where they can kind of get through the first round, if they kind of get an easy opponent and Napoli can be in the final. So I think Napoli, if somebody's got a free bet, Napoli to win the Champions League would be a nice little look, I think, right now. Enter Barcelona under 2.5. Nice. That's they didn't park the bus. They were, at least not in the first half. I caught all the first half and a chunk of the second half. They were all over Barcelona in that first half. That was a really good, fascinating watch. And again, that's why we put in that live bet of them to score first. They were absolutely. Oh, we want to leave those up. I guess we'll leave that up too. What the hell? All right, let's go ahead and get into some baseball bets for today, guys. Weird day in baseball, obviously. Last day of the MLB season. I did some digging just because I think there's some narratives out there of unders have been cashing, which has been a real thing. But I wanted to see what happened last year on the last day of the MLB season. Obviously, there were 15 games. 8 of the 15 games were won by the home team. You would think last day of MLB, home teams probably got the upper leg at home with the fans, win one with their home crowd. Only 8 of the 15. That doesn't mean the shit's going to happen this season, but I just wanted to kind of inform you guys of what happened last season on the last day of the MLB season. So again, 8 of the 15 home teams won, and 10 of the 15 games went over. We've been seeing unders cash for about the last 20 or so days in MLB, but on the last day of the MLB season last year, 10 of the 15 games went over. And just another thing to keep in mind, no games matter today. With how kind of the first 2 days have unfolded here, nothing matters. All the seeding's wrapped up. You can go to MLB.com, and they've already got the schedule posted for Thursday, the first round there of the MLB playoffs, which, by the way, it's a kind of an interesting slate right here. We get Mariners, Blue Jays. I kind of like the Mariners. Anybody else like the Mariners at plus money? I kind of like the Mariners at plus money. It's a better pitching staff, if you ask me. Then you get Rays, Guardians, the 2 best pitching staffs in the AL by far. That series will be low scoring. Get on Rays, Guardians, get on the under there. Padres, Mets. That would be an interesting one because the Mets are just scuffling coming in here to the playoffs. But you know what? It's the reason why we've got that future bet there on the Guardians and Mets to be the World Series finalists. Because if there's 2 guys that can look themselves in the mirror and man up and turn their performances around, DeGrom and Scherzer are 2 of those guys I like in that spot. So that'll be an interesting spot. And then Phillies, Cardinals. With the way the Cardinals are scuffling, you can make a strong case for the Phillies. Then you got to hold your nose with that Phillies bullpen, so that makes you nervous. And obviously, Cardinals has thumpers in the lineup to really smash a bullpen. But given current form, I like the Phillies. I know the Phillies and Mariners are underdogs. Probably the Guardians and Mets are favored. But I like Phillies and Mariners kind of just looking at this, 2 days removed. And, going to give myself a chance to dig into the numbers tomorrow. We don't have any starters on MLB.com, so we have no idea who's going. So that'll obviously change maybe our opinion. But that's kind of what I think here. All right, in terms of bets, though, on this last day, I do have one bet and then one bet we need to keep our eye on. How about Nick Pavetta? They're the Boston Red Sox to go over 1.5 walks. What the hell is this doing at minus 110? It's cashed in 19 of his last 21 starts. It's cashed in 19 of his last 21 starts. And in that stretch of 19 cashes, it already cashed 3 times against today's opponent, the Tampa Bay Rays, where he got 3 walks, and 2 walks. The hit rate is 19 in the last 21, and this is minus 110. If this guy goes, let's say, 80 pitches, he should hit it. I mean, if he gets his normal workload, which there's nothing to suggest he shouldn't, if he gets his normal workload, this prop should absolutely hit easily. Again, it's cashed in 19 of his 21. I can't believe it. The other thing I haven't bet, but let's talk about it, but this is what I'm keeping my eye on. It's a K-prop parlay of our guy Hesley going up against the Guardians. Remember, Hesley's the guy we cashed last week when we did under 4.5 Ks against the Detroit Tigers, and it cashed. Well, this is obviously a better opponent than the Guardians in terms of not striking out. And then Waddlechuck there, under 4.5 Ks of the Angels. The Angels just aren't striking out right now against left-handed pitching. They're doing really good at 18.9%. This is not a bet, folks. This is the reason why this one's not a bet yet. Over on Bet Rivers, Barstool, same book, you can get Waddlechuck at under 5.5 K. So obviously I like that a lot more. I'm scrolling down here to look at the Guardians line. Yeah, they do not have pitching props up yet for this Guardians Royals. If it comes in at 3.5, obviously I want to bet this over at my Barstools. I'll take a little bit worse payout, but to get 5.5 Ks there for Waddlechuck. Just to kind of give you an idea there of the concern there with Hesley, it's at 2.5 at Caesars, and it's at 2.5 on DraftKings. So there's a concern that maybe waiting to see what Bet Rivers or Barstool's post is, maybe they come out with Hesley at 2.5. Because if I had at 2.5, I'm not making that parlay. But if I don't get the number on Barstool's I like, will I come back to FanDuel and bet this plus 238 parlay of under 3.5 and under 4.5? I guess maybe we'll see how the Champions League bets go. But this is one I'm absolutely considering. Otherwise, I don't want to mess with the last day of the MLB season. We've all had a nice week here. We're up over 7 units. I'm not trying to get in the last day craziness when literally no game matters. Not even seeding purpose. Nothing matters, say, on the MLB slate. So other than Nick Pavetta, that's the only guy I'm rolling with right now. You guys, if I want to pull the trigger on that MLB K prop parlay, you guys can find me on Twitter. That's where you'll know about it. All right, let's jump back in these comment sections. I'm not doing rapid fire. There is even 30 starting pitchers today, and there's 7 undecideds. And it's big teams too, right? Blue Jays don't have a starter. Yeah, no shit. They're getting ready for the playoffs. Cardinals haven't announced their starter. Yeah, no shit. They are getting ready for the playoffs. Braves haven't announced their starter. Mets haven't announced a starter. Yeah, all the teams that have something to play for, you can't find me betting these games. They don't even have a starter. You don't know what the hell they're going to do. I bet they're going to I bet they throw out every guy from a bullpen perspective that won't even be on the postseason roster. They're not going to want to put any arms, put any pitches on these guys that they want to be ready to go. I bet that you bet in the MLB today, you're a bolder man than I am. You're an absolute bolder man than I am. You took the Astros on the run line yesterday since they were going to have a party hangover. Okay. I don't know if I don't fully disagree with that, but I mean, yeah. I mean, it was a great hit. What, they won like 10-0? Yankees will do the same now that Judge hit 62. I'm just not betting the last day of the MLB. I mean, just quite frankly, I'm not doing it. You would say a good day for an upset. I bet. Yeah, I mean, maybe you blindly bet every dog. I don't know. I'm not doing it. I'm not wasting my money. I've had a nice week. We've all had a nice week. I'm just not in it to waste. But yeah, it could be a good day for upsets. Like I said, I thought the narrative would be just to back all the home teams. That's why I went to see how many home teams won last year. And once I saw that was only 8 out of 15, I was like, wow. I was expecting a higher hit rate of the home team on the last day of the MLB season than 8 out of 15. That number surprised me a little bit. But what, dogs today? The Blue Jays are the dog in game 1. You got the Athletics are the dog in this game because they're going up against Ohtani. I would think the Athletics probably lose against Ohtani. Your Rangers, Yankees. Okay, maybe they celebrated Judge's home run. I don't know. Rangers are at even money. Cubs, Reds. You guys know we like the Reds. I like the Reds. I obviously thought they were going to win the series. We bet it accordingly. Reds are a dog today. I bet the Reds sweep. I bet the Reds are a good dog at plus 105. I could back that dog today. Diamondbacks, Brewers, Corbin Burns against Merrill Kelly. Diamondbacks are the dog, but I don't like that one up against Corbin Burns. Phillies, Astros, Falter against Valdez. Valdez is by far better. I don't think the Phillies can knock off. Twins, White Sox, Varland, Davis, Martin. Twins are at even money. So even the dogs aren't like big dogs. It's another one at even money. Tigers, Mariners. Tigers are going up against the left-hander. If you're wondering why we're not on the Tigers F5 team total, I believe it's going to be 1.5. Yeah, just looked. It's 1.5. They're just not hitting left-handers right now. Give them a team that's not hitting left-handers right now with the last game of the season. Nobody gives a shit. I wasn't really willing to back the Tigers, which is a shame. But, not a shame in terms of the cash rate we've had. We've only lost 2 bets all season with the Tigers, so they've been good to us. I don't need a force on the last day when they're not hitting left-handers that great. And last day, Rays, Red Sox, who's the dog in this one? The Rays are the dog. Yeah, they're throwing Fleming, and I bet a lot of dudes come out of that bullpen you've never effing heard of. And then Rockies, Dodgers, Gomber versus Kershaw. Rockies at plus 260. Nah, I don't know, man. I'm not betting that stuff. I'm not betting it, so can't find me betting that stuff. Focus on what we know, right? We know the Champions League. This is all shit that matters. Dudes are going to be trying. We need 3 points. We need 1 point. Yeah, put my money where dudes are actually going to be full-on trying. So yeah, that's what we do right there. All right, fellas, that's how we're doing it today. Wednesday. We need to make sure the recap tonight says Wednesday. That is always the goal on this day. All right, fellas, enjoy your day. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me here for a little bit. I will be on TikTok live probably during the first half, at least during this, not the first Champions League game. Wait till the one at 2 p.m. The one at 2 p.m., the kickoff where there's the whole slate. I'm going to sit back and watch Holland put in the first half Hattie. All right, guys, enjoy your Wednesday. We'll catch up with you guys later.